Hari Om and welcome to today's session of Stories from Bhagavatam. So let us see the story of Atri Rishi and Anasuya, and Shubhaji is narrating the story today.
Hari Om everyone. Today's story is about Rishi Atri and Satianasuya. Okay. So Sati Anasuya, wife of sage Atri, and she's the daughter of Devahuti and Kardama. And she is one of the 7 great women called the Saptakanyas. So Kapila Rishi was her brother and teacher. Okay. She is the epitome of chastity and austerity, which is the important character and to achieve a fulfilled life in our spiritual life. Okay. So her powers were so great that she could make trees bear fruits and make Ganga flow abundantly during floods and droughts and famine. Okay. So she got the power not just by sitting or just being sage Atri's wife, but she got all these powers because of her own spiritual sadhana. Okay. Let's look at her life. Okay. She was blessed with 3 sons and a daughter, and her 3 sons were sage Dattatreya, the avatar of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. Sage Durvasa. Durvasa, we all know who is Durvasa, right? He's the sage who always used to get angry, right? And Chandra, and the daughter was Shubhatre. Okay, they all were very good children and had very distinguished qualities. Okay, now let's look at Sati Anusuya's greatness and how she was revered for her spiritual sadhana. The first story goes like this. Okay, 1 second. Yeah. Sati Anusuya was so devoted and she was focused on her spiritual sadhana. Because of that, we know that she was very powerful. So, in order to test her how powerful she is, sage Narada would always talk about Sati Anusuya to everyone. One day, as usual, when he was talking to Lakshmi, Parvati, and Saraswati, they were like, how come she is so powerful? How come she has so much knowledge? We want to test her. So, in order to test her, the 3 Devis sent their husband, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, to test her. So, one day, the Trinity, who is called the Trinity, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva are called the Trinity, came down to the hermitage of sage Atri in the form of old beggars, okay, seeking alms from Sati Anusuya. When Sati Anusuya approached them to feed, all 3 of them denied taking the alms from her because they said they have a vow that they cannot accept food from a person who is wearing clothes. Sati Anusuya was confused. What sort of a vow is this? How can somebody take a vow like this? But since Sati Anusuya was very knowledgeable, she had solution to every situation. So she sprinkled the tirtha, which is the holy water, on all 3 of them, 3 of the old men, and all the 3 became small babies. And when they become babies, she fed them without wearing the clothes. That in turn, the vow was fulfilled, right? At that time, sage Atri also came to the hermitage, right? When he came to the hermitage and saw all this, he understood and realized that they had come to fulfill Sati Anusuya's desire of being the Trinity's mother. Okay. So what happened afterwards? When they realized that they are none other than the Trinity, which is Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, all the three joined together and became one. And that one, when they joined together and became one, that is the child Dattatreya. Okay, we can see in this picture Dattatreya. Okay, so he was a great sage and he served his parents till the end. Okay, so now let's look at one more reference of Sati Anusuya in the Markandeya Purana. Okay, in that we could see the greatness of Anusuya in the story of Anusuya and Sumati. So who was Sumati? Sumati was the devoted wife of sage Kaushika. Okay, she was so devoted to sage Kaushika that she would just forgive all his sins and he would take care of her husband with devotion. One day, sage Kaushika, who was very sick, couldn't walk at all. So Sumati was carrying her husband in the back, and when she was carrying, the sage's feet, sage Kaushika's feet, touched sage Mandavya. Mandavya, who was already suffering because the king's men had already beaten him up, and he was in pain. So as soon as sage Kaushika's feet touched sage Mandavya, Mandavya was so angry because already in pain, and this person also touched him with his feet. He was so upset. So in that anger, he cursed sage Kaushika that he will be dead before sunrise. Okay. So what will Sumati do? She was so much in grief. What is this? Already my husband is sick, and again this curse. She was grief stricken and she cried and she said, may the sun never rise. Okay, because of the curse, the sun never rose. We all know if the sun doesn't rise, what will happen? There will be destruction all over, right? So all the devatas were worried, what will happen if the sun doesn't rise? So they all went and took Satyanusuya's help. They went and asked her to persuade Sumati to withdraw her curse, so that the world can be saved from destruction. So Sati Anusuya requested Sumati to take back the curse and save the world. But Sumati was in a dilemma, since if she withdrew the curse, her husband would die. So what will she do? But since she can't give up her husband's life, she begged Anusuya for help. Anusuya assured her that with her powers, she would save her husband, and in turn, she saved sage Kaushika, and because of that, even the world was saved from destruction so that the sun could rise. Okay, let's get to the next legend. We all know the story of Ramayana. Okay, even in Ramayana, we find reference of Sati Anusuya. Sage Atri and Anusuya lived in the forest of Chitrakuta. So we all know Rama, Sita, and Lakshmana were exiled, and when they were in exile, they came to the hermitage of Atri and Anusuya. When they came to the hermitage, Sati Anusuya thought Sita Mata the power of devotion and austerity and gifted her with sacred garland, pious sandal paste, and a beautiful gem. Okay, and which Sita Mata accepted with great respect and devotion. Okay, so in all these things, if we look at Sati Anusuya's story, she was a very pious and a devoted wife. But if we look at sage Atri, he was no less. He was never jealous about Anusuya, his wife, who was very powerful and very devoted and more knowledgeable also. Rather, he was proud of her and he would proudly narrate her virtues to everyone. And he was never jealous. Okay, so this shows how Sati Anasuya was, and we all as uh, and we all in this age also should look up to Anasuya and be the epitome of grace and devotion. When we look at Sati Anasuya, we still have the reference of her, because this is not just a story or somebody has told something. It is something which has happened long time ago. So we still have reference of Sati Anasuya's ashram, because we all know Rama met sage Atri and sage Sati Anasuya in Chitrakuta. So her abode is still located in Chitrakuta near the Mandakini river, and people to this day visit this place and take her blessings. And it is considered to be one of the most peaceful places on earth, where all the streams converge. Okay. And this point is also the starting point of the Dandaka forest. We all know this was the forest which was ruled by Ravana. Okay. So this is how Sati Anasuya was and how powerful she was. Here we can see how women were treated equally even in those ages, and how knowledgeable and how powerful and how devoted they were even in those days. Okay. Padmaji, you have any points to add? Or shall we get into question and answer session?
Yeah, it was a very nice story of Sati Anasuya and Atri Maharishi. So we will go to the questions. I think all the points have been covered. Also, there are many temples. This is one of the temple which Shubhaji mentioned, but there are many temples of Sati Anasuya. And people still pray to her, like Shubhaji said, because she was such a great lady. They pray to her even today. Okay. So now let us see how many of you remember what all Shubhaji said. Okay. So who was Sati Anusuya's husband? Yes, Diya Disha. Atri Maharishi. Yes. Okay. Who was Sati Sumati's husband? Yes, Ram.
Kaushika Maharshi.
Kaushika Maharishi. Yes. And how many children did sage Atri and Anasuya have? How many children? Yes, Ram?
4 children.
4 children? 4 children. How many boys? How many girls?
3 boys, 1 girl.
Okay. 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 Dear Disha, what are the names? Can you say the names of the children? One you say. Any one you say. Who is the one?
Durvasa, Dattatreya, Chandra,
And the daughter's name. What is the daughter's name? Okay, Ram also doesn't know. Disha also doesn't know. What is the name?
It starts with my name.
Starts with ma'am.
It starts with ma'am's name. No, what is ma'am's name?
Shubha.
After that, something has to be added. That is the name of the daughter. Shubhaji will only say the name.
Shubhatrayi.
Shubhatrayi. Okay. So see, now if in the story, if you're not able to hear some word clearly, then you can always raise your hand and ask Shubhaji. Okay?
Ma'am,
Because
that's why Trayi, ma'am.
what?
Trayi, no, ma'am. Shubha Trayi, no, ma'am. tree
Ah.
is born like right.
It is, yeah, you can remember it like that. Okay. That is nice. Okay. Now, next is, we did she told 3 stories today, no, about Sati Anasuya, right? First was how the Trinity became the children, and then they were blessed with that God Dattatreya will be born to you. That was the one of the story. Which was the second story? Second story is about whom? Yes, Dia?
Anasuya and Sumati.
Anasuya and Sumati. Okay. Ram, what is the third story?
Ma'am, Rama, ma'am.
Rama?
When Rama went to Vanvas, ma'am, when he visited the Atri's ashrama, ma'am.
Yes.
What
That is.
Anasuya Devi taught Sita Devi, ma'am.
Yes, correct. Okay. More than Rama visiting, what Sati Anasuya taught Sita Mata is so important. See, there are 2 things in this. One is Sita Mata is an avatara of Mahalakshmi, isn't it? So she is herself a goddess. She knows many things. She is so knowledgeable. Yet she came to learn from Sati Anasuya. So that shows 2 things. One is how knowledgeable and great is Sati Anasuya. Second is, even though she was a goddess, she did not think, I know everything. There was no pride, no. She came and humbly she learned from her as a mother, isn't it? So that is something we all should learn from this story, that even though we know many things, we may be knowledgeable, we read many things, yet when somebody is capable of teaching something to us, we should become a student, we should not be proud, and we should learn. That is how our learning will continue. Yes, Ram?
Ma'am, as the Rama is Dattatreya and Dattatreya is Rama, the Sita Devi the Sita Devi is the daughter-in-law of Anasuya Devi.
Okay. So after this, okay, one more thing I wanted to ask. So where is this ashrama located? The one you see in the picture. It is in which forest? Yes, Diya, Disha.
Beginning of Vrindavan forest.
But what is that place called? That place is called? Which place? Where did Rama go to meet Atri Rishi?
Chitrakut.
Chitrakut. And near which river? Near which river, Ram?
Mandakini.
Mandakini river. Okay. And just now you mentioned in the beginning of the Dandaka forest, starting point of Dandaka forest, right? Who ruled Dandaka forest? Yes, Ram?
Ravana.
Ravana, yes. Okay, now
One more question.
Yeah, I'm coming to that. When Rama visited Atri Maharishi's ashram, okay, Sati Anasuya gave something to Sita Mata. What were the things that she gave? Okay, there are 3 things. So you can take turns, split it among yourselves. Okay, Diya, Disha say, and then Ram will say one.
A sacred garland.
Sacred garland. Okay, Ram, one more.
Ma'am, a precious sandalwood paste, ma'am.
One more thing. What is the last?
Devotion towards husband, ma'am.
A chair.
Not a chair, a gem.
Gem.
Gem, gem. Okay. Okay.
I also heard it as a chair, ma'am.
You also had it as chair. Okay. So you should have asked a question, no? Why she gave a chair? What is the use of the chair? You should have asked. Okay.
Ma'am, Anasuya Devi taught that to respect husband, ma'am. To respect husband, that chair.
Yes. So because she was a pativrata, so she also taught Sita Mata that you should also be devoted to your husband. And see, Sita is also known for her pativrata, no? See, she learned from Sati Anasuya and then she also was like that only. Okay.
Satianasuya was the daughter of
Yes. Ram.
Devahuti and Kardama.
Correct.
Who was her guru? That also she said. Yes, Diya Disha.
Kapilam.
Correct.
Muni. Kapila Muni was also who to Sati Anasuya?
Ma'am,
Yes, Ram.
the younger brother, ma'am.
Yes, he was the brother of Sati Anasuya.
Younger, ma'am.
Also his guru, our guru. Okay.
Sankhya philosopher.
Kapila Muni was a guru to his mother also, Devahuti, and also to his sister. So, see, Bhagavan himself has taught Sati Anasuya, isn't it? Because Kapila Muni is the brother of Mahavishnu only, no?
What a luck, ma'am. Ma'am, what a luck for Anasuya Devi, ma'am. Brother is Lord Vishnu. Son is Lord Vishnu.
Yes, so blessed, no? Yes, truly. And if you see deeply, no, Ram, there is Mahavishnu within us also who is teaching us, who is also our guru. Okay. So that way, we are also blessed. Okay. And because we are reading the Bhagavatam, everybody is not reading Bhagavatam. So somewhere we are also blessed that we are able to read Bhagavatam, tell stories of Bhagavan, listen to the stories of also Bhagavan. Okay. Okay, very nice. Today's story was very beautiful. Next
If
week.
you remember, I said Sati Anasuya and Sumati reference from which Purana?
Yes.
Yes, Ram.
Markandeya Purana.
Correct.
Very nice. Yes. Okay.
So you all are listening very well.
Yeah. So with this, we end today's story session. Okay. Hari Om, everyone. Thank you.